Hey, what is going on, Poké fans? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at Malamar VMAX deck, standard format, 310 HP, Darkness Pokemon with that powerful attack, Max Jammer. You can hit for 180 with 3 energies, 2 Darkness and 1 Colress. And then opponent reveals their hand. We can choose a card from their hand and put it on the bottom of their deck. That's just insanely strong. I mean, I kind of like this. You can just disrupt your opponent's supporter play, Great Catcher, boss order play, whatever you want. You can disrupt energy from their hand. So really cool. In order to power up Malamar VMAX, in order to be able to get working deck list, you really need to have Naganadel with a charge up for energy acceleration, and also Weavile with a shadow connection so you can move energies between Pokemons in play. Additionally, what I'm playing in this deck, I'm playing one copy of Greninja Zoroark for the Dark Pulse. I mean, it's a tag team Pokemon. It rewards our opponent with 3 prize cards, but situationally, it can one-hit knock out anything, as long as we have enough energy cards. There is also Darkrai with a Nightmare Star, which says that when you play this Pokemon from your hand on your bench, during your turn you might attach 2 Darkness energy cards from hand to Darkrai, and then later energies can be removed with the shadow connections, and then Darkrai can be scooped up in the hand with the effect of the Super Scoop Up. There is one copy of Ditto as a tech, as well as one copy of Eldegoss V and Dedenne-GX. So that's all from the Pokemon lineup. Speaking about setup, there are 4 copies of Mysterious Treasure and Quick Ball, so we can have much faster access to Naganadels and also Darkrai's, Greninjas, Sneasels, whatever we need with the Quick Ball, and of course 2 Evolution Incense, so we can also have way to find a Malamar VMAX and also any other evolution Pokemon. I also play in this build 1 Great Catcher, 4 copies of Super Scoop Up, and then 1 of each Black Market and Viridian Forest. Speaking about supporter cards, 4 Researches, 4 Marnie, and 2 copies of Boss Order with 12 regular Darkness energies and 1 Weakness Guard energy. You're probably going to ask yourself, why Weakness Guard energy? I don't know. Maybe somebody will play Fighting Tech, Phalanx V, so that's the good approach to counter the weakness. Also, Weavile can be then hit for the knockout, but Malamar VMAX can also be hit for the knockout against grass Pokemon, so it's not really bad to have at least 1 Weakness Guard energy as a tech. So this is the deck list that I'm going to use in today's video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you already didn't, and yeah, let's see how powerful Malamar VMAX will be, so see you in the game. Alright, so really good opening hand. I really need to say that. I can play Dedenne. I can throw energy in my discard pile. Yeah, I have really strong setup turn 1, no question about it. I'm not gonna risk with energy attachments, so what I'm gonna do here is I will use a Mysterious Treasure where I will try to set up 1 Poipole, and additionally I'm also gonna set up a Ditto in play, but I might have made a mistake. I might have made a mistake because I'm playing versus Pikarom, and benching the Dedenne on the bench is not the smartest thing in the world, but technically speaking, I didn't find myself a Malamar because I really wanted to set up as many Poipoles as I can. So yeah, I mean, I'm not running Mew, so my opponent can technically swing on the bench and knock the Dedenne, even take 5 prize card knockout versus tag team and Dedenne, but it is how it is. It is how it is. At least turn 2 I can Dark Pulse, and I can Dark Pulse for a decent amount of damage. And I think I can Dark Pulse before my opponent can even attack with the Pikazakram. If that's going to be the case, that's going to be very important. I mean, technically speaking, with Energy Switch and Tapu Koko and Thunderous Mountain, Pikazakram might hit turn 1 as well. So nope, it's just not gonna happen, at least for now, so I'm gonna use advantage of that Viridian Forest in play. Attach energy, play another Mysterious Treasure, grab myself a Naganadel, so I'm gonna have 2 Naganadels in play. And remember, I'm also running 2 copies of Oh, there is a Weavile, alright. And a Quick Ball as well. Since I already attached energy, I really want to have energy for the following turn, so I'm just gonna Quick Ball into my Malamar V, so I might get that Evolution Incense sooner or later. So far, doing good. Let's go with a charge up. So 2 energies. I'm hitting for 150. Hitting for 150, that's a very amount of damage. Let's move some energies with the Shadow Connection to Malamar V. And it's a Dark Pulse time. So I'm gonna hit for 150. Turn to 150. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, no question about it. I mean, I'm running 4 copies of Super Scoop Up, so technically speaking, I can remove Shaman from play and prevent my opponent from sniping him on the bench. So will that be the case? We shall see. Right now I have no supporter card available in my hand. However, I might find one soon. I know that my opponent is in a position to perform that full blitz, or actually it's not. Didn't he goes with the Guzman Hell? I didn't pay attention. I thought that he had Stadium in his hand, but I was completely wrong. So there's Electromagnetic Raider, which will allow my opponent at the Dedenne play, and Zoroark as well. You can't play more than one Daddy change per turn. So when there was a Shaman EX, you could play 4 Shamans per turn, 5 Shamans, 6 Shamans, 7 Shamans, 15 Shamans, if you could, per turn. But with the Dedenne and also New Crobat, we a whole different story. It looks like there's not going to be energy switch, but there will be a Thunder Mountain, so tag Ball GX. Ooh, really, really interesting. Alright. I mean, what else to say? He decided to go for 3 price cards. I can't blame my opponent. However, he have plenty of cards available. Luckily, I have Eldegoss, and I'm gonna Marnie my opponent. I really need to do that, no doubt about it. Ooh, there we go. There is a Malamar VMAX. Alright, so right now I'm on fire. Let's go with a Super Scoop Up. There we go. Dedenne can be pulled back into my hand, and I'm gonna charge up 2 energies additionally. There we go. 2 energies returned back. I can move them, but I don't see a reason why. Max Jammer. Alright. Let's see what our opponent have in his hand. Judge Whistle, switch. Yeah, definitely gonna go with... wait a second. I mean, I need to discard that energy, no question about it. I'm not quite sure if he plays another Dedenne. Probably he does. He can paralyze me, but that's not super effective. There's a Darkrai Prism. Alright, so the Darkrai can bring some energies in play. But I need another VMAX, so what my opponent can do, he can technically use Tandem Shock, hit for 160, and paralyze me. Oh, there's Jirachi, so it's just going to be a Stellar Wish play into potentially support a card. I think I did a good job with the Marnie. I disrupted my opponent's hand, and he managed to find himself a Cynthia. Still, he needs to find a switch, and he had switch in his hand. I completely forget about it. There's a Judge Whistle, and there's going to be a energy attachment and Cynthia. So yeah, Raichu should paralyze my Malamar VMAX. Hopefully I can hit heads on the coin flip, but there's the reset stamp for me. Ooh, 2 Super Scoop Ups in boss order. I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. I wish I can hit both heads on the Super Scoop Up. That would be just amazing. Let me see. Let me just try to move those energies so I can use Super Scoop Up. Hopefully I can flip heads on the Super Scoop. I mean, I can even attack with my... I mean, I can even attack with that Weavile-GX. Tails. Okay. it is how it is. Sometimes you get heads, sometimes you get tails. But overall, as it looks, I think that's gonna be it. I needed that heads on the coin flip and I didn't hit it. And basically, I think that's it. I think that's it, unfortunately. I can charge up and I can pass. My opponent barely needs just a switch, so if he can find himself a switch, then he can win the game. So there's Electro Charger, and he flips 2 heads. And as you can see, I flipped 2 tails, he flipped 2 heads. The first Super Scoop Up, I flipped heads. So, I mean, it's a game. It's a 50-50, and there's a Mellow and Lana. So, yeah, obviously he can just use energy and attack and basically win the game by taking an extra 3 price card knockup against my Malamar VMAX. So that's so unlucky. I mean, literally it was just, you know, will I have hit heads on the Super Scoop Up or not? If I flipped the heads on the Super Scoop Up, obviously I would win the game, but at the end, that's the GG. Let's take a look at our opponent deck list. So 1 copy of Jirachi. Wow, that's interesting. 1 switch. 2 switches? 2 switches. And how many Mellow and Lana? And 1 Mellow and Lana. Wow, that's impressive. That's really impressive. Unfortunately, that's the GG. Okay, I'm ready for the game number 2. And this time, I'm gonna start first again. That's almost identical startup. Starting with that powerful Greninja and Zoroark, there is a Mysterious Treasure and 1 Evolution Incense. So at least I can set a Poipole and have at least 1 Naganadel turn 2 in play. Let's go with Evolution Incense, shall we? Alright, so technically I can hit for 120 turn 2. That damage can be applied because of the weakness. So technically speaking, I can hit for 200 plus damage easily. So with 1 extra energy attached to my Greninja, I can easily hit and knock at my opponent Drippy. And there is a Weezing. So yeah, he is definitely playing some type of a damage spread deck. There's a Roxy, 2 Weezings, plenty of cards to be drawn, then blown away. Bomb can put some damage counters, and there is another Drippy. Drippy? Quick attack. Flip a coin if has this attack does 10 more damage. Alright, it's my turn. I'm gonna reward my opponent with the Marnie play. But before I do that, I'm gonna keep that. Should I go with the Dean or with the Marnie? I think I'm gonna go with the Marnie for now. If I miss energy, that's just not gonna be good. Oof! But I find myself a plenty of energy cards. Plus, I also find myself a Darkrai Prism. That's insane. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies already, and I can Dark Pulse, and I can hit for 360. So I can easily one-hit knock up Dragapult VMAX right now with my Greninja and Zoroark. And this Greninja and Zoroark, this tag team combo, so powerful in this build. I mean, it is how it is. Alright, so there's a Weavile. There's a Poipole, and it looks like I'm gonna be forced to throw out my second Malamar VMAX with the research. I mean, it's not that I need to use my research. Let's be honest. I can just put Weavile in play, put the Poipole on the bench, maybe wait for the Malamar VMAX. But I think I managed to set up pretty fast. And my opponent couldn't find himself a way to set up more Drippies and that Dragapult. And right now I'm in such a huge advantage. Plus also I can hit for a weakness. I can Super Scoop Up. And that's just not looking good for my opponent. So there is a Evolution Incense. Alright. for another Weezing. And it is my turn. Okay, and there's even a Black Market. That's a very nice reward. With that being said, I'm just gonna Dark Pulse one more time, 360. Probably my opponent is waiting to... Oh, there's a Malamar V. Probably he's waiting for that Weezing and for another blow away bomb, which says that once during your turn, when you discard this Pokemon with the effect of the Roxy, you might put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon plays damage counters after the effect of Roxy. So first you're drawing the cards, then you're placing the damage. And unfortunately for my opponent, that is a GG. So I can Dark Pulse, and I can hit for the weakness, and basically take another knockout. And since my opponent doesn't have a single Pokemon on the bench, the game is instantly over. Can we maybe take a look at his deck list? Yes, we can. There are 2 Mewtwo's with the Mind Report, couple Weezings, Mew, Zigzagoon, Dragapult, of course. Yeah, pretty much standard Roxy and Dragapult deck list, but a little bit too slow for that powerful startup from Greninja. That's the GG. Alright, so final game for today's video. It is a game number 3. Who's gonna start first? My opponent, so I'm gonna go second. There is a Sneasel in my opening hand. I'm not looking forward to put the Darkrai on the bench. That is for sure. And there is powerful ADP on the other side of the field with the energy spinner for the water energy, which means that I can sneaky smash. You can use this attack only if you go second, and if it's your turn 1, discard an energy attached from one of your opponent's Pokemon in play. I'm gonna definitely gamble here. I'm gonna use 2 Mysterious Treasures, and I will try to set up 2 copies of Poipoles on the bench. Meanwhile, we'll try to put the Darkrai with that energy from my hand. And of course, I'm gonna go with Research for 7. Let me see how many energy cards I have in my deck. 9. Alright, so there is a good chance that I will hit at least one of those 9 energies, as I mentioned it. So there we go. And that's all I really need. I need to disrupt my opponent, so I managed to disrupt energy from his active ADP, and at least probably we're not going to see Alternative Creation GX at turn 2, which is a big deal. However, I can set up 2 Naganadels in play, attach 1 more energy, let's say onto my Sneasel maybe, and then I can research for another 7 cards. I might consider going with the Sneasel energy attachment because I have a Weavile. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Energies can be moved from one to other Pokemon with the Shadow connections, so it really doesn't matter. What does matter really is that I really need to start attacking as fast as possible. And I really need to start dealing damage to the ADP so I can technically knock it out next turn. So Private Wisdom for 1, and I'm in a very good position. I mean, let's be honest. I'm playing versus Zacian Wii with the ADP. I started with a Sneasel, I sneaky smash my opponent energy, and all I really need to do right now is basically just evolve 2 Naganadels, put the Weavile in play, and attach energy and go with the research. Actually, I'm not going to even attach energy, I'm not going to bother attaching energy, I'm just going to all in with that research. So he managed to find 2 energies with that Interpreted Sword. So there is a Malamar V for me. And should I maybe go with... interesting. If my opponent knocks me out, that's gonna hurt for sure. But I will set up a Ditto in play. And I will go with energy attachment and with a charge up. And basically I'm gonna move myself energy with the Shadow Connection onto Weavile, and then I'm gonna Cloud Slash my opponent for like 130. 130? I mean, I could even technically retreat, promotes Malamar, and hit for 130 and confuse my opponent. I don't know why actually I didn't do that, because then he would need to flip a heads on the coin flip in order to use that alternated creation. I didn't even, yeah, that's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake, but at least I can force my opponent to waste a turn, and then I can try to evolve into VMAX, retreat on the bench, attack with the VMAX, and also discard a card from my opponent's hand. Draw myself a 3-price card, and tank a turn with the VMAX. So that's actually not that bad play when I think about it. That is actually not that bad play at all. So we have energy attachment, Shadow Connection on the active Malamar V, actually VMAX. Then we have 2 charge ups, actually only 1. And other than that, Max Jammer. Let's see, 180, I can take 3 prize cards. And what should I discard from my opponent hand? I think I'm gonna go with the Marnie, for sure. I don't need Marnie. I mean, you're not discarding the card from your opponent's hand, you're putting it on the bottom of opponent's deck. So Marnie, Evolution Incense, and in addition to that, another Malamar V. Since I already discarded another one, I'm not gonna be in a position to use it again. So what I'm gonna do, technically, I will probably go with a Marnie at my next turn. So far, so good. And second Weavile hits the ground. Second Weavile or third Naganadel? I think I'm gonna go for second Weavile. But I'm gonna move that energy from my Darkrai, and I'm gonna try to Super Scoop Up that Darkrai from play, because I'm not gonna need it, and then I'm just gonna Marnie. What I will need here will definitely be Greninja and Zoroark, so I can one-hit knock on my opponent Zacian. Not gonna put it yet into play, or should I maybe go with it? I mean, since I have basically control over my opponent's hand with my Malamar Max Jammer, I think I should definitely do that. So I'm just gonna need to move 2 energies onto my Greninja, so let it be something like this, so just in case of the knockout I don't lose too much. And Max Jammer for 180. Which card should I discard from my opponent's hand? Definitely gonna be a Research. Still, he can use Quick Ball, but I'm not quite sure what he can do with it. One thing is for sure, my opponent have Great Catcher. With the Great Catcher, he can technically knock Greninja Zoroark and leave me out of the position where I can basically take a 2-price knockout against Zacian, which will be the case right now. So maybe I should go with the Great Catcher instead, but at least right now I left my opponent with the cards, and next turn, oh, he decided to go for the Weavile, so that's then the, oh, he took the Research as a top deck. Wait a second, he drew a Research as the top deck, and there's a Zamazenta Wii. Alright, but I have Greninja Zoroark. How many energies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the game is over. Oh, no way. Wait a second. Metal Core Barrier. Okay, it really doesn't matter. For the moment I was like, does it really matter or it doesn't matter? Let me see something out. I'm gonna boss order that Zacian Wii on the bench. And how many energies I have in my discard pile? 1. So I will attach 1 and I will play the Dedenne-GX. So I can add 2 more. And that should be enough for the knockout. It should be enough for the knockout. So Naganadel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's it. That's 300 minus 30, 270. Should be almost, actually it should be even enough for the knockout against the Zacian with the metal core barrier. So that's the knockout, that's the GG. And yeah, what else should I say? I mean, this deck works like a charm. I kind of like it. It's very powerful. It's broken. I mean, that max jammer attack is so powerful, so disruptive. You should definitely try it out if you have opportunity to use it. Standard ADP deck list again on the other side, with actually 2 copies of Zamazenta. That's interesting. Speaking about Zamazenta, just gonna go quickly through my opponent deck list so I can see what else. Oh, he only played 1 Water Energy and I managed to discard that Water Energy at the turn 1. That was so unlucky for our opponent. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the thumbs up. If you didn't, well, then you should just dislike the video, and that's it. Thank you for watching and for your time. We'll see you next time.